Immigration and all that it encompasses is very personal for me because I was an undocumented immigrant. You may prefer to use the word illegal alien, but I'm not an alien. I'm not a problem that must be handled. I'm a human, a person standing before you now as a representative of the Texas House. I was born in Reynosa, Mexico, and brought to the United States as an infant child with the hope of a life my parents never knew or could dream I might have.
Isn't it accurate that you're currently under investigation or being audited by the city manager?
Not that I'm aware of.
Members, we're going to confine ourselves to the matters of law within this bill. Go ahead, Mr. Peña.
That is the very same person you seek to remove by this legislation. Is that not correct?
It's not removing that person from that. I am unaware of any investigation that Representative Peña has. I mean, he should be investigated for not living in his district.
Members, please, we beg you, leave the personal comments out and stick to the bill.
You're going to think about it?
Yes, sir.
About running for president?
I'm gonna think about it. But I think about a lot of things.
This is the transvaginal probe. Colleagues, this is what we're talking about. It is a very intrusive process. This is not the jelly on the belly that most of you think. This is government intrusion at its best.
So none of the history of African American or Asian American, none of that would be included in this, right?
Would that be included in African history? Would white European history be included in
Hey,
African
Wayne, you
history
really don't want to go
courses?
there with me, man. You really don't. I
Would
respect you.
Spanish Mexican history be included in that? If it is, it should. But that's where we should study and get the truth, not the made up, not the separated. But if you're going to teach this one, that one, and whatever, whoever, it should be everything.
Why don't we, James, Wayne, why don't we do Texas a great favor? Why don't we respect the state of Texas and let's pull this down?
I respect the state of Texas.
Let's pull this
I
down.
respect the freedom.
Let's pull this down, Wayne Christian. Let's respect the state of Texas and the diversity in this great state, and let's pull this down, brother.
It seems to me that there was a time in this state, there was a time in our history that we stood up to the federal government and we did not cower to rules and policies that invaded the privacy of Texans. And apparently, the 30 members that were with me 20 minutes ago, people have been working against them. And now they're pulling down the votes. And so I will respectfully pull the bill down because I don't want to subject senators to casting a tough vote for or against, apparently, who are now off this bill. But this was a come-and-take-it moment. That flag means something. This is a moment when the federal government came in and bullied the state of Texas today.
My amendment really says that where it says smoking, we replace it with the words smoking and wearing perfume or cologne.
This is not a laughing matter. And I want to tell you, I thought you were a pretty good member, and I still am going to believe that, but this is out of bounds. But I ask you to show some decor in this House and take up a serious matter that some of us deal with public health every day. And you're out of bounds on this one.
We want you to adopt a plan that includes additional rainy day funds in order to close the shortfall for Texas.
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
What time is it?
My cell phone shows 12:03.
So we're in another legislative day now, or what?
Senator Whitmire, for what purpose?
I'd like to raise a point of order.
State your point of order.
That you cannot consider legislation in the last 24 hours of the session.
Your point is well taken and sustained.
One day back in 2009, he said, let us come together. Let us come together as colleagues and servants to do what is right for Texas. Together, together, we will build a house where members have an opportunity to express their views and chance to do something great for their districts and for Texas. This is a man I can no longer recognize, and I wish it weren't so.
And the other one that we've had a lot of controversy on a child nursing a mother's breast. And this is talking about House Bill 2093. And this bill is about insurance. I'm going to tell you that I am really disgusted.
But this one takes us to an all-time low. Would you say that's correct, Ms. Thompson?
It is an all-time low, and I personally tell you this. This is not a tactic to get this bill passed or concur. I don't care if you kill this bill. I want you to remember one thing that I'm saying today. I don't appreciate this attack on women. I don't appreciate this flyer.
Ms. Representative
I'm going to
Thompson.
tell you something. I don't perpetrate violence against somebody. But if they were here, I'd probably bloody their nose right here on this floor. I guarantee you that. And Dr. Zerwas, I'll have to call you to their aid. And I'm not joking. I would bloody their nose because they have no right to do women this way. And we have not earned this disrespect in this house. We fight here, we get elected just like you do. And we have not earned this kind of disrespect. And I don't want to tolerate it by anybody. And men, if you don't stand up for us today, don't you walk in this chamber tomorrow.
Do you think that this has become standard operating procedure by some because of what goes on in this House with the way some of the men have treated some of the women with pornography on the floor of this House? Do you think that's why this is acceptable, Ms. T?
We're going to find out just what's acceptable, and we're going to see what they made out of it, what is sugar and spice and everything nice.